Christmas present you ever received, why was that the best? See, this book is something else. It always wants the best. And I got to tell you that, there's different times when different things are the best. You might get something better when you're an adult for some reason, and then when you were a kid for some reason that was the best, but you got that year. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to say, oh geez, every Christmas is a good year. And this doesn't even say when you were a kid, so this covers all time. I don't know. There's a lot of good things. Last year, Anna wrote this, memories from living on Grafton Road as Sarah, the author of it, and that's the ghost that lived with us. And so that was a really nice present. Heather's gotten us nice things. Heather's, we've received a stereo, and oh man, Jenny's gotten some nice things for us because they're all special. They're all not so much to me, but from them. So, I think one of the best Christmases as a kid was one, of course, when I was real little and before my brother passed away. And I know Joyce received her Brownie flash camera that year. I received, I think it was a train set. And that's the year I got that yellow traffic light with the train set. And it was a special Christmas because I remember getting up very early, and then we did every year, but this year in particular, maybe it was the first year we really got up early. It was like, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I got up early, and then I went and got Joyce up, and then we got Denny up, and then we were making noise, and pretty soon our parents were up, and they didn't even get mad. It was so early. But no, they didn't usually get mad at stuff like that, but you just never know. Never know for sure what kind of mood they're going to be in, but it was great. I guess I was at the age where I really believed in Santa Claus, which means it was pretty soon that I wasn't going to believe in him, because when you're at that age of believability, that means you know enough to understand what people are telling you, and you believe them. So shortly after that comes the time when you start hearing that there is no Santa Claus, and you're in that vicious trap to where all of a sudden you're going to be deflated, heartbroken, and let down. And so I think I was at the height of believability as far as Christmas and the season and so forth. And we got some nice gifts, but mostly it was just the feeling I had and the secure environment I was in that made it so good that year. Tell about a memorable Christmas visit with relatives. Well, here again, it's just like Thanksgiving. It was over to Grandma Vrana's, and this would have to be one of the ones, probably Christmas of 1958. That was my brother's last Christmas, and we were all over at Vrana's, and there's pictures, not in our picture collection, but in the slides. There's just tons of answers to things I've mentioned. in this, from questions in this book, in my parents' slides, and in some of the old pictures that they have, and also in the colored slides that I now have from them. But that was a good Christmas. I didn't know how good at the time, but it was a good Christmas, and I wish I could have more just like that one. But for the time being, we're just going to go with the people we got and be damn glad we got them. What is your favorite Christmas carol and why? Well, let's see. I don't know if the Hallelujah chorus is a Christmas carol, but I like that real well. And I pretty much like all the standard Christmas carols. Deck the halls, joy to the world, O come all ye. And every Christmas I like to just sit by myself for a while and kind of reflect about past Christmases, listen to the old carols, and just sit there until I almost fall asleep on my own. In some cases, I've been known to do just that. But there is no way I could pick out one Christmas carol and say that that's my favorite. What would be the most wonderful gift I could ever receive and why? Well, on a material plane, no pun intended, hint, hint, that would be it, an airplane. But, you just don't give airplanes for gifts. We're talking $40,000, $50,000 here. So that's okay. I understand. It's cheaper to rent anyway. You don't have the maintenance costs and things like that. But if I had the money, I'd have one myself. And if anybody ever hits the lottery and has an extra 50 grand, they can throw it my way in the shape of an airplane. Other than that, any other gift, the greatest gift would be, what can I say, eternal life. That would definitely be the most wonderful gift. And I certainly hope each and every one of us get it. Well, we will one way or the other. I just hope we enjoy it. So that would be my answer. Oh, I see this little footnote that I penciled in here. Life everlasting for those that have gone before, for those in the present, and for those that will come later. And I kind of always say my prayers associated with the family like that. I want to include the ones that came before, the present people, and the ones that'll come later. Tell me about a time when God answered a special prayer for you. Oh boy. Well, it was probably the time when I did something wrong. And I prayed to God and I said, geez, please don't let this happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'll never do that again, I promise. Now, that's kind of funny because I got out of a lot of things by the skin of my teeth. And I know I couldn't have done it alone. And I'm sure if you're out there and you're listening to this, you've had the same situation where you say, God, please don't let me get caught for this because, I'll be in a heck of a mess. And, if I don't get caught, I promise I'll never do anything like this again. And I'll go to church and pray real hard and help my parents around the house and all those good things. So Um, that to me would have to be the answer. It's a humorous answer, but that's the best I can do. But I'll tell you what, he sure did come through for me. And I'm not sure what disaster I was involved in, or how many, and like I say, or which ones. But I know there's many a time, if it weren't for his help, I'd have been in big trouble. What would you like to see happen in the next 10 years of your life in the world? Well, I would like to retire early, and I would like to have that based on a sound financial platform. The world market as it is, they're calling it a world market, and indeed it is, but I would like to see that gel more and more and be involved in it from an investment standpoint. I find that a pretty interesting situation. I would like to have my family grow in number and in wealth and in knowledge and religious values. And I would certainly wish that everyone that can listen to this tape today could listen to it if they wanted to 10 years from now. In other words, I hope everybody's here. And man, I don't know, there's so much that could happen. I know the computer is going to just totally revolutionize the world, even as we know it today, and there's so much technology that's usable today. So I can't even fathom what all is going to happen. I mean, there's online banking now. Pretty soon you'll probably be able to get a Big Mac through your computer. So I just don't know. I just know it's going to be a real interesting area, the time span to be alive, and I hope we all are, and it's going to be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of money made by a lot of people, and I think it'll be good, honest money. It's just going to be like the Industrial Revolution, but the Industrial Revolution is going to be on everybody's desktop, and the ability to get involved and profit in the markets is going to be there for everyone, and I hope we all do that. Look back in your life, as you look back in your life, name 3 of the most fantastic changes that have taken place in the world, how they affected your life. Well, I think 3 of the most fantastic changes. Well, let's see. I think it's great that man has walked on the moon. That's certainly a development and a change. I think the computer is a revolutionary change. And probably that the Browns are back in Cleveland. That's a miracle, and that's a fantastic one at that. As far as affecting my life, man being able to walk on the moon is a terrific achievement. Something that as a boy you just imagined through comic books and so forth. But to actually know that we're capable of that, you know that as a country we're capable of much, much more. The outer reaches of the universe, I'm sure, could be achieved at some point in time. The computer itself, it's been made a household word. Almost everybody, I don't want to say almost everybody, but everybody at least has access to a computer these days. And we even got one the first of the year, and we're just about the last people on the block to get anything new. So what that's done for me is create a whole new media to learn with, and not that I'm a big learner unless it's fun for me to learn as long as I'm doing something that's fun. Now, surfing and checking out some market information and that sort of thing is fun. Now, as far as working with that information, transferring it around, saving it, editing it, or reusing it, there's still a lot of tricks with the computer I need to learn, and that'll take time. But to just have that, right at your available beck and call is quite a phenomenon. And the Browns are back. Well, that's, hey, that goes without saying. The home team's home again. This cat is bothering me. She's just not letting me do this taping. This old fat cat wants her belly scratched again. And then she's just going to turn around and bite me. She tried, but I moved too quick. Okay, let's see. Where would you still like to go, and what would you like to do when you get there? I think possibly it might be to take a cruise. Either that or go to the Holy Lands. And I would just like to get involved in either place. I'd like to get involved in just seeing how the people that live there live their lives in whatever area I went to, lived and things they did on a daily basis and how they did them. The Holy Lands would be very interesting, just looking at the proximity of where a lot of the Bible stories came about. And if I were to go on a cruise, it would probably be, I would guess, a Caribbean cruise. I spent some time there in the service, and it's beautiful water and beautiful countries down there. I wouldn't mind going back to the Bacardi rum factory in Puerto Rico. So it would be fun in either case. What's a favorite way of spending a rainy afternoon? That would be staying dry and probably just putzing around the house, doing small odd jobs, or working on the computer, doing something constructive. But I think a rainy day is kind of neat because it needs to be where you can see it. You need to have a window to look out to where you can appreciate being dry, but yet you don't need to be too involved with what you're doing to where you don't stop on occasion and look out. Just enjoy one of nature's phenomenons, and that's how things grow. The rain and the sun make things grow, and hey, this is a rain day. What word best describes your life, and why? Well, I would have to say good. And what I mean by that is we're not poor, we're not rich, we're doing okay. We have moments of despair, we have moments of anxiety, we have moments of great joy, we have moments of extreme joy, we have moments of excitement, enthusiasm. So there's a little bit of everything and not a whole lot of any one thing. So we're kind of like, we're in suburbia, we're the middle class, and life is good. What advice about life do you want others to remember? Probably no matter what, it'll change. We just spoke about life and life being good. Well, no matter what, it'll change. By that, hopefully it'll get better. It could get worse. Nobody knows for sure. But you know what? No matter what, it's going to change. And if you're in dire straits, extreme anxiety, and some pretty bad circumstances, it'll change. It might get worse, but probably not. I think you could count on it getting better. So no matter what, things change. That sounds pretty stupid, but pretty basic. But it's pretty profound, and it's a lot of comfort if you are in the doldrums and you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. It's going to get better. So no matter what, it'll change. Well, I turn the next page here and I see notes. Turn the next page and it says notes. And then there's a place for photos. Well, I guess I'm done with the book for now, anyway, unless I come up with some amendments to it. But I want to thank each and every one of you young people, Jenny, Deanna, Heather, for sending me this book on Father's Day so that I can write in it. Well, I didn't write in it. I'll let somebody else write in it. So I did the taping, and let me tell you, for what I've said on this tape, it'd take me about 10 years to write that in this book. But whoever else may get an opportunity to hear this, I hope I don't bore you too much. And I hope you get a few laughs out of it, because that's what it was intended to do. And it's something like this is fun to listen to for 2 or 3 times, in the course of several years. If you find yourself doing more than that, if you're up to 10 or so, or 20 even, then you maybe need to check your schedule and find something better to do with your own time, because you're probably dwelling too much on somebody's past. But I know I have a tape that my dad and mom taped. It's a very short tape. One evening I took a tape recorder over there and asked them a few questions, and they gave me some answers, and I did it just for this very reason, to put them on tape so that you would have a little something to listen to when they weren't around, to just call them on the phone and get those questions answered. Not that the questions were that important, I just kind of wanted to record their voices. So, once again, I hope you enjoyed this little series. I don't think there's going to be another one, at least not by me. One's plenty. And I'll let you go, and have a good day. Talk to you later. See ya.